Tonight's programming is brought to you in part by the Lewis and Clark Commission for Mineshaft Safety and Awareness, reminding you to stay the heck away from those old abandoned mine shafts. I know you want to go in there and smoke and make out, but there could be unexploded dynamite down there, and the longer it sits, the more volatile it gets. That's the rule of thumb when dealing with undetonated nitroglycerin. And also from generous contributions from viewers like you to the Myrna Center for Performing Arts. Another day, another dollar, another flea bite around my collar, another spring, another fall, when it doesn't bother me at all. Time to sleep, time to go, time to hit one more show. Set it up, tear it down, and keep your ship from running aground. My eyes are dry, my head is wet. I've got it good as I'm ever gonna get. Pour a glass, pour a jug. Squash your troubles like a bud. Time to sleep, time to go. Time to hit one more show. Pack it up, hit the town, and keep your ship from running aground. Another day, another dollar, another flea biting around my collar, another spring, another fall, when it doesn't bother me at all. My eyes are dry, my head is wet. I've got it good as I'm ever gonna get. Pour a glass, pour a jug, and you can squash your troubles like a bug. Time to sleep, time to go, time to hit one more show. Set it up, tear it down, and keep your ship from running aground. Another day, another dollar, another flea bite around my collar, another spring, another fall, when it doesn't bother me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Hey, good evening, everybody out there in TV, phone, computer land. I am here with Max Hay and Christy Hayes. We booked these two beauties without knowing or realizing that their names are almost the same. It's such luck. If you are a Christy Hayes fan or a Max Hay fan, welcome to you. Welcome to Myrna Loy fans and supporters. First, open mic, where, when, and then Christy's gonna guess what you played.
I like this question. First open mic, I know it already. It was the Ritz in Missoula, Montana. Used to be called Maxwell's, now it's called the Badlander.
Oh yeah. Badlander tried to do pay to play when they first opened.
Oh.
That didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
Tell me about your open mic.
I was 18 years old, not allowed in the bar, but this hippie guy came through our yard. We were renting a house, me and some friends, and he said, I'm going to an open mic, and you can play whatever song you want, and they'll give you a free beer. And I said, I'm not 21. And he said, they'll never check. And so I came down there, and I just loved it, and saw the scene, and then I borrowed his guitar and went up and played, and sure enough, they gave me a free beer. And then same hippie dude said, you know, there's a back bar and those two bartenders don't talk to each other. So you can go to the back bar and get another free beer and say you played the open mic. And I ended up playing that open mic every week for about 3 years.
Yeah. And Christy, you get one. You don't have to say the song, but guess an artist that Max played at his first open mic ever at 18 years old. In what year?
That would have been 2000 or 2001.
Okay.
I don't even know. It's so hard. Like.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna
Led
ask.
Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
Not close.
Okay. All right. We'll save it. We'll save it.
Okay. All right.
All right, Christy. First open mic.
The Canopy Club, Champaign-Urbana. I dropped my guitar on its face because I was so nervous. I dropped it off the stool onto the ground. I was paralyzed with fear to play for so long, even way into my professional career. I could barely sing. I was like shaking, the pick shaking.
Yeah, I've been there.
And I played my own songs, my own sensitive, sad songs.
And you were writing and you were a teenager?
I was, I think, 18, probably. I had a fake ID. Sorry, Mom and Dad. So I was probably drinking. And it was the Canopy Club was a big club. I mean, it was the place to go to see, where I saw Uncle Tupelo.
Canopy Club?
It was in Champaign-Urbana,
Okay.
if you know where that's at in Illinois. It's big college town.
Max, what did Christy play?
Angel from Montgomery.
I do play that. Oh my God.
I knew it, yeah.
But did you play it then?
No, I didn't. I played my own.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
song,
Oh, yeah.
It was a good
You
guess.
already had
It was
the
a good
answer,
guess, though.
which I already forgot, too. She said she played her own stuff.
Oh, okay. I wasn't listening. I was trying to think of what I played.
What did you play?
And yeah, what did you play?
I'm sure there was a 311 song in there.
Okay, yeah.
But it was probably mostly my music.
All right.
Wow.
As you would do
At 18.
at an open mic.
Yeah, that's why I was so excited to go
Yeah.
to the open mic, because I had all these songs I'd been recording on my 4-track in my living room.
Nice.
So I went to try them out.
So
We're-
y'all
we're
have been playing.
songwriters,
I know
John.
y'all have been playing open mic since I have, except you're 10 years younger. That's awesome.
I'm getting impatient again. The days are getting longer. I'm wringing my heart out again. Love's only getting harder. And I'll be ready to settle down now. Pick out the bathroom tile and wall color. But I got a submarine heart, so deep down, dark, underwater. But this year I'll get it right. I find balance in the daylight, and I do more for you, baby. My selfishness is hindsight. Just quit rattling my confidence. Everyone wants a savior, but no religion. When you got a submarine heart, you got a deep down dark disposition. Other movies tell me life's passing me right by. I got 'cause I'm running out of time. I gotta get my life together, I gotta lay it on the line. Baby, no one needs a loner at the edge of 39. Maybe I'll get a straight job and punch the hours on Wellbutrin. Hang up this silly old guitar and settle down outside of Houston. And I give up my childish dreams, so lofty, so obscene, and so permanent. When you got a submarine heart, so deep down dark, I guess I earned it. I got a submarine heart, I got a submarine heart. I got a submarine heart, I got a submarine heart.
Max, have you ever had a job?
Yes.
Like a job type job?
Yeah, many jobs. Yeah. Been through a lot.
How long did you last?
The most recent job I had, I lasted about 11 months.
Oh.
I was the park concierge for the Center City Parks in Seattle. So we were basically doing the same stuff that a cop would do, but the cops move around, and these parks, chaos breaks out every 10 minutes. So they like to have somebody staffed there to make people feel comfortable, protect the vulnerable people, and also clean up any sort of human excrement that might come out there.
Oh my.
And there's a lot of that. But it was a great job. You get to be part of the community.
You've been out there a couple years, Seattle?
Yep.
Back for a visit? I mean, what's it like in the big city? Well, what's it like? Okay, so now we're right smack in the middle of the COVID, right? But before that?
Well, I love the city. I love being around all kinds of people. I love being around all kinds of food, all kinds of music, right outside your doorstep every day. One of the big differences is playing gigs in Seattle, I don't drive my car.
Yeah.
I grab my guitar, throw it on my back, take the bus, Uber home later.
Right.
Which is much different. In Montana, musicians at my level, at least, we have to bring our own PA system.
Right.
We usually have to drive 2 or 3 hours to get to the gig. It's an all-day project. Whereas when you're in the city, you go down, you play your show,
Yeah.
you hop the bus home, and it's just kind of an afternoon event. It's a lot lower impact to be in a big market like that.
Is that what it's like in Austin, Christy?
Yep.
Yeah, like house PA?
Oh yeah, when I first started playing in Montana, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe you had to bring your own sound. I truly couldn't believe it.
Every band has a whole PA system.
It's insane to me. And I think if you're gonna have music, you should have a house PA. That's how I feel about that.
What about you, Christy? What kind of jobs have you had?
A lot of service industry. I went to school for forestry, and then I worked for the Forest Service right out of college. Then I moved to Alaska until my mid-20s, and I worked for Fish and Game, and I was a river guide.
Tell me about Haines.
Oh, Haines is a tiny fishing hamlet in southeast Alaska, and it's just beautiful. I don't know. It was an idyllic time in my life, and I was really isolated. Didn't have running water, electricity for the first, from 23 to 27. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a computer. I didn't, And then I decided I'm going to go be a famous country music singer, and I moved to Memphis.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Memphis.
And then I moved to Nashville, and then I moved to Austin.
I think playing music is a real job.
Oh, well. I just wanted to know if you'd had like a job.
Worked in a lot of restaurants.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Every musician works in a lot of restaurants.
But, you know, music is just as viable it's just as important and valuable in the world. We use music every day.
I know it's hard work, but I just can't like imagine you like, I can't imagine being your boss and you like clocking in, you know?
Yeah, right.
Max, wash your hands before you touch the food.
I used to eat the pepperonis right out of the make table at Godfather's Pizza.
I rode a rocket straight to midnight. I carved the stretcher back to noon. Then I took a sip of broth from a shaky little spoon. Found my hat in the hall. Then I found my way back to Cape Canaveral to see if it's my day. They beamed the news back to ground control. Love struck in the outer rings. Everybody in the boarding zone, fire them all off one by one. Radio silence from somewhere out there. If you found the science, you're gonna be a millionaire. It's cold and it's crowded in the shade of the moon, freezing my fingers and suffering fools. My girl knows when I get down, just drop me on the far side of town. I'll wake her up when I get in and tell her about everywhere I've been. Shelter, water, and food, a little peephole in the door. So I sent out the probe a little farther than before. They beamed the news to the outer rings. Love struck in Sector 3. Quick shave and I combed my hair and fired off into thinner air. Radio silence coming from somewhere out there. And if you found the science, I won't tell anyone, I swear. It's cold and it's crowded in the shade of the moon, freezing my fingers and suffering fool. back to ground control. Love struck in the outer rings. Everybody in the boarding zone. Fire them all off one by one. Get a shot with the back of the moon. Tip the pilot, find the Mahu. Find the water, find the food, and hit it from the back like I used to do. Radio silence coming from somewhere out there. And if you've got the science, I won't tell anyone, I swear. It's cold and it's crowded in the shade of the moon, freezing my fingers and suffering fools.
If you had to throw one instrument, all of one kind of musical instrument into the ocean forever, never to be heard again, is there one that you would choose? And if not, then you're just a lover of all sounds. And if there is one, what would it be?
The 8-inch tom.
The 8-inch tom.
It's too small. You don't need an 8-inch tom.
That's good. That's a good one. The Stomp suitcase drum kit.
Oh.
I also want to say the harmonica, but that's
You
kind of
play
my
the
key
harmonica.
instrument too. So I don't want to get rid of all those. I might be
Yeah.
out of work.
And did you want to say banjo just because of banjo jokes?
I think they're just obnoxious
like
high
the-
instruments that are never perfectly in
I
tune,
like the banjo.
so it always kind of grazes the ears. That's why I dislike the harmonica as well. 'Cause it's never quite in the right pitch. Ideally,
you're a pretty
I'd
good
have a
harp.
bunch of saxophones with the keys taped down so that you can just blow saxophones.
Well, that's interesting. 'Cause
I'd love, when I play the harmonica, I'm picturing a saxophone. I used to go to this jazz jam in Seattle that was every Thursday they had a jazz jam, and there'd be a drum kit, a guitar player, a keyboard player, and then other horn players could come and
Right.
rotate in, and it was almost 100% saxophonists lined up for their turn to jam. So then the drummer and the guitar player and keyboard player end up spending all night on stage, and they would like to take a break. They wished that there would be some more drummers and keyboardists that would come in, but it was just a saxophone buffet all night.
have you ever been to Vietnam or Cambodia?
Wait,
Yes,
what?
yes, and
Been there?
yes.
Never.
Never. And you played music in China for a long time.
I was in China for
Crazy.
a while, yeah.
Tell us about playing music in China.
Yeah, I was working for the Australian government covertly as a guitar player.
It's amazing.
It was the World Expo. It used to be called the World's Fair. Now it's called the World Expo.
Wow, you worked at the World's Fair.
And we had to play. They started us with the idea was to show Australian pub culture to the world, and so we set up an impromptu pub. That
Did you have to have an accent?
There was an interesting day where the Prime Minister was visiting, and the head of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade came up to the stage one night and said, "Max, the Prime Minister's in town. I'm going to need you to stay away from the microphone for a while, because if he finds out there's a Yank in the band, we're sunk."
You do the accent so perfectly. You should have just.
And so I played bass until they gave us the all clear that the Prime Minister had left.
You've been to Cambodia and Vietnam.
Yeah.
Did you play music over there?
No. I didn't. I wasn't playing music. I never even thought I would play music in front of people. I truly despised being on stage until my mid to late 20s.
Did you work to get over it, or
Yeah.
did you just decide to like it, or what happened?
No, I just worked really hard on like overcoming the stage fright and just trying to not be It's weird now. I couldn't ever think of being like that because I don't really get nervous when I play anymore, unless it's like a big deal, you know?
Right.
Would you say you look forward to it now, or you get excited for being on the stage?
No, I can never say I will love being on stage. I don't love it. But I love to convey my writing and art. Mm-hmm. So I had to get over that other part of it, you know?
I mean, that brings up something about one of your songs, Town Underground, which is this love song about Butte, but it's like entering love with eyes wide open because you're not just universally glowing about it. I mean, you say it's bound to disappoint me like love does.
Yeah.
But the last line in it is, it's the last best place I can hide. You say I can hide. So, like, what is that? Why are you hiding? Why do you want to hide?
Well, I think, like, ultimately my goal is to live rural and to go back to living, like, extremely in tune with nature and pretty technologically disconnected. And the path of being a professional musician, you can't live like that. And I spent, 15 years in cities trying to make it as a musician, and I just got so tired of living in a congested place. I'm not made for it. I enjoy cities. I really enjoy visiting them. I don't particularly enjoy living in them. And to move up to Montana was like, it became my other Alaska. Because my best friend moved to Butte when we left Alaska.
Okay.
So that's how I started going to Butte all those years ago.
Right.
It's my transition into going back into hiding. That's what it is.
You're going to slowly move out of town and up on
I
up
will.
a mountain somewhere?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you like plants?
Yeah.
Do you think you have a song that doesn't have a tree or a flower or a plant in it?
Probably not, or a river.
I meant to go through and listen to them all again and list all the plants, but it's just coming through.
I mean, I tell you, that's why I need to go live in the woods. I have more content.
More content.
Is that what you think when you see the pristine wilderness scene? You think, what? Look at all this
Look at all
content.
this content. Let's stop the car. I like to write songs about people that I don't know, or that I do know, but more so that I don't know, so I can make up a bunch of stuff about their life. But I had broken down, and I just had a flat tire out near the Steens Mountains, which is kind of middle of nowhere, Oregon, and it was soft shoulder, so it took me a long time to change the tire. And then the only person I saw was an empty school bus, a woman driving an empty school bus, and I just obsessively thought about that, and then I wrote a song about her entire life.
She drove a school bus. She drove it east and west. She drove it north and south, all through Harney County, along a dry lake bed, along the salt and sage. She never planned to stay in Harney County. When she was 22, she moved to Oregon City with a boy who had long hair. She got a job working at Sherry's restaurant. She liked all the people there. Out on the weekends, they get to drink, and he'd talk about having kids. But just a couple months later, there's a note on the table that said, "I'm sorry." And then her mom got sick. She was sick for a while. She moved home to Harney County. She took the back bedroom. She cooked every meal. She washed every dish with red well water. And late in the evening in the summertime, when the sun would start to go, there'd be a purple haze in the Diamond Valley. It made her feel at home. In the deep dark winter, when the wind would howl louder than her TV, she'd sometimes cry at night when her mom was sleeping, cursing Harney County. it's been years ago, so many years ago. Now she's got a house in town with a tall red cedar. She's got a dog and a cat, a couple of aloe plants. Bridge club on Wednesday, the senior center on Friday. And most of the time when she waters the flowers, she doesn't think about the past. She likes taking the kids to school, likes watching them grow up fast. In the sweet part of spring when the air is right, everything's light and nice. She's proud to be, so proud to be from Harney County.
Max, tell us about playing Irish, quote, Irish pubs in Florida and Alabama on the Gulf Coast.
That's an interesting idea to talk about that. I've made a good portion of my career playing Irish music in Irish pubs. And there's a common misnomer that people think I am Irish, which I am not. I'm just a businessman, and there's an Irish pub in every town. And if you learn some Irish standards, then you can get work playing. Even you can get work playing Irish music in Irish pubs. They will love you if you learn those songs. Most people that hang out at Irish pubs are not Irish.
Yeah.
But those songs go really well with beer. Mm-hmm. And so once you know a few songs, you can get gigs. And this big Irish pub in Florida, McGuire's, they hired me for every winter for about 4 years. I was playing 5 nights a week.
So they put you up and they paid you a salary and you played 5 nights a week like a job type
You're
job.
just on staff. It's a real job, as they say. I've always been that mercenary style working class musician where I find out where the money's coming from. How do you want to apply music to your business? And then I can help you apply music in a way that helps make you money.
Christy, I want to ask you about some of your songs. I spent a little time with some of your music over the past couple days. This event that we're having gave me an excuse to do that, and I'm grateful for it. First of all, you have just extensive, super professional video on your website. And some of them out there, ChristyHayes.com, some of them out there are concert footage, and that stuff is great. But you have all these videos, like real music videos, short films. Super professional stuff. How did that come about? Who'd you work with? What did you do?
It just was the creative community that I was in Austin for so many years. You know, Austin's a pretty big film town. And I had some very close people in my life that did those videos for me. And especially, you probably saw Those Who Wait, which is one of my favorite videos.
Well, that's exactly the one that I was going to ask you
Yeah.
about, because when I listen to the lyrics, I'm not hearing that story. Like I never would have put that video to that music. So what happened?
Well, we just wanted to make something weird, and
You did.
yeah,
Congratulations.
And we wanted to just do something like kind of edgy, and I don't really want to be in it. Like, so we had actors, you know, which was my neighbor and his girlfriend. They were that, and then the pancake cook at the restaurant I worked at, he was the other guy, and we just got all our friends together and made cool stuff. I mean, that's what a lot of my time in Austin was doing. That, like, we were all poor and trying to make great things, and that's where those videos came from in a lot of ways.
A guy digs a grave and lays in it.
We got in trouble
and his
for
girlfriend.
that in my yard.
And that was in your yard?
Yeah, it never really fully recovered that hole.
I mean, it's a big hole. Did he dig it with a backhoe at least?
No, we all dug it by hand.
Oh.
We did crazy things. I look back to thinking about the things we went through for our art.
Max, I want to know, in Dog Bite Moon, you say, like, the waitress was cute, but I'm into you, and the joke that you tell so well. Tell it.
Well, a lot of people aren't aware that I wrote that song shortly after the Iraq War sort of came to supposedly a pause, I guess.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that they found Saddam Hussein's secret quarters after they found him in the spider hole. They went and took all his cat, and they found a secret music room that was just for listening. And he had a massive CD collection. And do you know where he kept his CDs?
No, I've never heard any of this.
In a rack.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness. I fell for this. I thought this was going to be so juicy. Come on.
That's the joke that she told so well?
That's the one, yeah. Over and over and over again.
You liked this person.
Well, it's not necessarily an autobiographical song. This is the song that I wrote for all the people that like to fall in love at closing time at the bar, which is the most popular time to fall in love. It's time to go home, Bones Malone. There's nothing left to drink. I'm numb as the wounds on this dog-bite moon, and the sun is dragging its feet. So grab your coat off the back of your chair and point me at the street. It's time to go home, Bones Malone, and take your turn at the sink. Now the waitress was cute, but I'm into you and your joke that you tell so well. And she liked you too until 1:45, when the service in here went to hell. But there's music down 3rd Street, and every word I speak is slurring, and I think you know. It's time to go home, Bones Malone, and set the alarm in your phone. It's time to go home, Bones Malone. There's nothing, really nothing left to drink. I'm numb as the wounds on this dog-bite moon, and the sun is baring its teeth. So grab your coat, it fell under your chair, and point me at the street. It's time to go home, Bones Malone, and take your turn with the sink.
You've gotten to be quite a guitar player, Max, I have to say. From the first time I played with you in 2008 to now, it sounds like you've been playing a lot of guitar.
I have been playing a lot of guitar, yeah. I play Seagull guitars. Thanks, Seagull. Really good guitars. The best guitar you can get for the money.
My first real guitar.
I love it. Really?
Yeah. And it seems like you're writing from a guitar player's perspective. Like, I never write that way because I'm not a good guitar player, but Larry Hirschberg writes that way. He figures something cool out on the guitar and
He's a great writer.
And he makes it into a song. Is that what you're doing now? I mean, are you working stuff out on guitar and finding something cool on guitar and then making it into a song?
I noodle when I'm playing the guitar, and when I'm writing lyrics, it's a completely different animal. I'm usually walking around, I do a lot of walking, and then something pops into my head, and then I get out my little notepad and write it down. And then, by the end of 6 months, I've got a notebook filled up with half ideas.
Right.
And then I'll sit down and play the guitar and say, okay, what might go with this? And then I can kind of mix and match lyrics to riffs.
Christy, tell me a little bit about Strange Times. I'm going to quote one of your own lyrics to you. I think you sing, I said I'm sorry, I said it too quiet. Then I listened to your car start in the drive. Is that the lyric? I love that lyric.
Thank you.
You got anything to say about that song?
I think it's just like a lament of getting older and being a full-time touring musician and it being difficult to cultivate, lasting relationships and a home, and you sacrifice a lot to live like that.
Have you enjoyed the break?
Yes. I just feel like it takes a lot of energy and to work like I was working, doing the shows. And it's also a different animal playing up here than it is playing down south in the circuits that I work.
Why?
Because there's a different culture around music up here. There's not the same amount of appreciation for songwriters. And I'm not saying that as a blanket statement, but there's just not the attentions. Like, there's no proper circuit to work up here for me. Montana is a difficult animal, especially it's a brewery culture and it's a loud room and no house sound. I got spoiled, I worked a southern circuit and a midwestern circuit, and I seated ticketed rooms, a lot of that stuff down south for me, and I don't have that up here.
Right.
I'd rather live up here. I'd rather live, how I want to live. It's more important for me to be happy how I live than to be selling records and working on the road at this point in my life. So,
Well, we're glad to have you.
yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And you're going to make a record this winter.
Yeah, definitely. Sad songs for lonely people.
Sad Songs for Lonely People. You heard?
I'm looking forward to that one.
I have had so much fun talking to you two. Thank you to the Myrna for hosting these two. They got paid money to play for y'all, and that's the way it works in the music business. Max, Christy, thank you. Your names are almost the same.
Thank you.
Let's get out of here, huh?
All right.
Thanks, John.
Cheers.
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 I grew up 5 miles from Hogback Mountain. I went to school in town. I'd blanket the horses when the north wind starts blowing. I'd sleep out on the ground. I went to college for 3 months once. I hated the smell of the place. Disinfectant, latex paint, a man shouldn't be inside all day. So I'd rather waste away in the hot Texas sun, the Candida and the Ocotillo blue, with a mourning dove singing its mourning dove song, La vida de un hombre sencillo. I bought a used truck from a pipeline in man. It's an 82 Custom Deluxe, Scottsdale trim, Copenhagen tan. It's a diesel with a brand new clutch. So I drove down to Juarez just for the day. I got a feeling and a warm cup of beer. Saw the ghost of Pancho Villa and Francisco Madero on the bridge out to old El Paso. And I'd rather waste away in the hot Texas sun, the Candida and the Ocotillo bloom, with a morning dove singing its morning dove song, La vida de un hombre sencillo. I got a good wife, she's got hair like cotton. We got a little baby girl. I weld for the county, so I'm home in the evenings. We're fencing the pasture next year. And I'd rather waste away in the hot Texas sun, the Candida and the Ocotillo bloom, with a morning dove singing its morning dove song, La vida de un hombre sencillo, La vida de un hombre sencillo.